This is the process shot. I'm Michael. I'm stuck in a haunted movie theater, and I've seen Barbarian, a newish horror movie from director Cregger. It initially follows Tess, a young woman renting an Airbnb for a job interview. However, she comes to find that the house is double booked, and while she's wary of her surprise roommate, she warms up to him quickly. In the night and into the next day, though, she comes to find that this house is hiding some dark secrets just below her feet, which could put her safety and possibly that of others at very high risk. Meanwhile, the owner of the house, an LA actor named AJ, is facing allegations from a co-star that push him to sell the property, leading him to visit for the first time in years and eventually encounter the same darkness. It's a bit difficult trying to summarize the movie without delving into some major spoilers, and this really is a film that's better to go in blindly rather than read up on beforehand. There are several more twists within the story besides there being more than one character, and half the fun of the film is seeing how it all plays out. I will also say that the movie overall has a bit of fun with the story and its general tone, presenting it differently depending on the primary point of view. With Tess, it's more of a traditional horror tone, but with AJ, it begins to lean into horror comedy and a bit of absurdity. The different tones eventually clash, but in a way which helps set up expectations for the story. More specifically, it becomes clear that while Tess is entirely capable of holding her own against whatever is lurking beneath the house, AJ is much more impulsive and paranoid to the point of inconvenience. Both of these are also pretty accurate reflections of their general personalities, which ultimately make them out as characters worth following, and not people you would just wait around to see if or how they're eventually killed off. In fact, much of the story is character-driven, laying out more setup for who they are and why they're here, over simply leaving them with basic roles to fulfill. If anything, the movie seems to want to go against these standards, presenting AJ with that traditional horror mindset, while Tess's thought process is more realistic or in line with the audience, or at the very least, she knows much better than to blindly panic. The visual makeup of the movie plays into this dichotomy as well, initially starting out with a limited amount of stylization that focuses more on lighting and creating uneasiness within and even around the house. As more and more secrets and layers are revealed, things become much more distorted, creating a sense of claustrophobia with extreme close-ups and tilted camera angles, at times even creating a large sense of distance between 2 points when they might otherwise be closer. The lighting in these later scenes also take on a stylized approach by using strong pink and blue overtones, which are either reflective of one of the major themes within the film's horror elements, or are meant to be more like an 80s movie or something. Either way, it's still pretty striking, and definitely adds contrast to the still present darkness and shadows of the rest of the environment. On the technical end of things, the editing is also a great highlight, being used to great effect and upsetting expectations of what will come next for the story. Overall, I would say that this upsetting of horror traditions, while still adhering in many ways to the standards of the genre, is what will really let this film stand out as something unique, even more so than its actual monster, which I still won't talk about here. Barbarian, Zach Cregger, 2022. 4.5 stars. I definitely recommend seeing it. That's it for this review. If you liked it, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a comment. Subscribe to the channel for more reviews. I'm serious, by the way. I'm not gonna say anything about the monster. I'm not even gonna do the gag where I start talking about it and then cut myself off. Here, watch.